You right now, Ellie was applying major pressure to get Caitlin Clark to come on to New York, and I think that'd be a great destination for y'all. I've been saying it, bruh. Caitlin Clark need to get the hell out of Indy, bruh. It ain't working. It ain't working.
The New York Liberty aren't just admiring Caitlin Clark from a distance. They're making moves. At All-Star Weekend, their mascot wasn't mingling with the crowd or hyping up fans. It was sitting right next to Clark herself. Not during warm-ups, not during a break, but front and center beside the league's biggest star. A bold message that didn't need words to be understood. The Liberty are interested.
Caitlin Clark to the New York Liberty? Confirmed? You guys? For real? Photos circulating went viral of Caitlin Clark in the bowels of the Barclays Center with Liberty coach Sandy Brondello and Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu.
This wasn't some casual photo op. It was intentional. Every bit of it was planned. And it came right after Clark's private meeting with several New York Liberty players, a meeting where she looked completely at ease, even happy to be there.
I think it's safe to say that the Liberty are currently running the full court press to try to get Caitlin Clark at some stage in her career. Do I think they'll get Caitlin Clark next year? No. Do I think it'll be the year after? No. Do I think at some stage they'll get Caitlin?
That mascot moment wasn't the main story, it was the aftermath of something much bigger. Deep inside the tunnels of Barclays Center, Caitlin Clark was spotted alongside Liberty head coach Sandy Brondello, joined by superstars Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu. But this wasn't your typical post-game chat. Clark's agent Aaron Kane was there too, and when agents show up, it's never just small talk. This wasn't about smiles and handshakes. This was about Clark's future, and it may not be in Indiana.
Whoa, league of my own, it don't get better.
Mascots, yes. The New York Liberty mascot, Ellie, was applying major pressure to Caitlin yesterday. I mean, she just could not stop messing with Caitlin. And I mean, it got so bad, Aaliyah Boston sitting next to Caitlin like this. Like all the people ain't just watching you just sit here and be all up in Ellie's face. I love this. I think Caitlin Clark was just showing love, but I'm telling you right now, Ellie was applying major pressure to get Caitlin Clark to come on to New York, and I think that'd be a great destination.
The timing couldn't have been better for New York's move. Clark had just watched her team get blown out 98-77, a game she couldn't play in. It was her third soft tissue injury of the season, and every time she fights her way back, she's thrown into a system that doesn't play to her strengths. It's frustration on top of exhaustion, and the Liberty saw their opening.
Imagine getting on national TV, being paid by ESPN, paid by CBS, and have the nerve to look at the viewing public, lie to them, and say the Indiana Fever are more dangerous without Caitlin Clark. I'm curious, are those same people going to be on TV this evening, tomorrow morning? Are they going to look in the camera and double down on the Indiana Fever are more dangerous without Caitlin Clark?
Meanwhile, she's watching the Liberty operate exactly how a championship organization should, with structure, vision, and a clear respect for elite talent. Everything Caitlin Clark has been searching for in Indiana, New York already embodies.
Yeah, by the way, Caitlin Clark looks unbelievably happy talking to these folks. But this is how it starts in sports. This is how it starts in the NFL. This is how it starts in the NBA. When you start seeing the wheels in motion, there's signs. There's signs before eventually a player gets traded. A player eventually marks their next destination. The Indiana Fever, you're on notice. You're on notice. You better recognize what you've got going on, the asset in front of you, and you do whatever you have to do to correct what is happening.
If you're enjoying this, make sure to subscribe, because here's where things start to unravel. Let's talk about Stephanie White's tactics, because this is where the real panic begins. Clark returned from injury only to discover she'd been moved out of the point guard spot. Instead, White handed the offense to Ari McDonald. Just think about that, the most electrifying playmaker in the league, The one who shatters viewership records every time she steps on the court, suddenly being told she's not running the show anymore.
Thing was supposed to be built upon Caitlin Clark's strengths. It's that simple. It's that simple. What's wild is you had the easiest gig in the business. This was the easiest gig in the business. All you had to do was show up. Yo, what offense was y'all running last year? Y'all was scoring like 104, 108, sometimes in the 90s. Whoa. Okay, run your offense, but y'all listen to me on this defensive end. I'll let y'all do what y'all want on Caitlin. The offense is yours. I'm going to handle this defensive side of the ball. We're going to get better over here. You had the easiest gig in the business. You went and blew it. You went and just made the job 10 times harder than what it needed.
This isn't coaching. It's sabotage dressed up as strategy. White claims she wants 2 ball handlers on the floor, but what she's really doing is cutting Clark's influence before the other team even steps on the court. And the numbers back it up. When Clark runs the offense, everything clicks. The ball moves, shots fall, and the team actually looks connected. But when she's pushed off the ball, the Fever's offense collapses, and Clark looks like a shadow of the player who electrified the sport.
I thought we started really well. I thought we were competitive. I thought we played with energy in the first 5 minutes. And then, when they kind of went on their first run, it kind of deflated us a little bit, which I'm not really sure why. But the offense, I think, for us, it starts on defense. And we, struggled, scouting report wise. We struggled personnel. We struggled to do what the coaches asked of us. And then, overall, we just played with more energy and effort. And, those are the things.
Clark averaged 19.2 points and 8.4 assists per game in her rookie season. But this year, under Stephanie White's rigid system, she's shooting just 36.7% from the field and a dreadful 27.9% from 3. Those aren't signs of natural regression. They're the numbers of a superstar being suffocated by a system that doesn't know how to use her. And that's what makes the New York Liberty meeting so significant. In that tunnel, Clark didn't just see a different franchise. She saw what it looks like when coaches and players get it. The Liberty don't force Sabrina Ionescu into a rigid structure. They build their offense around what makes her special. They don't shift Breanna Stewart out of position to make room for role players. They design plays that highlight her dominance. Sandy Brondello has publicly praised Clark's talent, something you'd rarely hear from White without immediately pivoting to talk about team balance. The contrast couldn't be more obvious. The Liberty treat their stars like stars. Indiana treats its biggest attraction like she should be grateful just to fit into their system.
Now, one thing I like about the New York Liberty, they got a little run and gun in their offense. When I watched them the other day against the Aces, and Sandy does a wonderful job making that ball go. And it's fast paced. They shoot threes. They allow Sabrina be Sabrina. She can shoot her threes. They're a very well-balanced team. They got a little inside, but they also got some outside too. And I can see why they won the championship. And I just hope that when Caitlin Clark feels and sees that, she goes, that's a good idea.
The numbers make it impossible to deny Caitlin Clark's impact. When she returned from injury to face the Liberty, 2.2 million people tuned in, with a peak of 2.8 million viewers, making it ESPN's third most-watched WNBA game ever on ABC. Without her, Fever games saw their viewership drop by nearly 40%. In the stands, the story's the same. The league averaged just under 9,900 fans per game in 2024, but whenever Clark took the court, 15,000-seat arenas were packed to capacity. She isn't just a player, she's the league's driving force. But here's the part everyone's overlooking. Clark won't be in Indiana forever. Her rookie deal runs through 2027, but 2028 marks the start of her free agency. That quiet meeting with the Liberty wasn't about an immediate trade or move. It was about laying the foundation for what's next. And New York is already positioning itself as the ideal destination. First, organizational competence. The Liberty have mastered the art of building championship-caliber rosters. They know how to construct systems around elite players, not box them in. They've got more cap flexibility, $154,969 in available room compared to Indiana's $111,931. But the real edge? A complete, championship-ready supporting cast. Clark has never had that in Indiana, but in New York, she'd walk into a lineup built to win now.